Chapter 19. The next day, in the office, she spent planning. Steve, she was glad to see, was showing the effects of the dreams well. It would have been nice to play him along just a little more, but there really was no time. He took advantage of an absence of stew pot to try and read the books the doctor had given him. Through great mists of words, he began to see what the authors were so concerned about. If what they said was true, then there was no reality to cling to. What he said and did every day was as much fiction propagated by his mind as what he dreamed, with the exception that there might be a little more truth in those things he did, based on immediate experience. Drop a stone on your toe in real life and you'll limp for days. Do the same in a dream and you'll wake up with a foot intact. But what, the books asked, if you dream the stone falling, and the next time you dream your foot is still busted? What then is the difference? His head hurt. His tooth hurt. About the only part of him that wasn't hurting was his foot, and he wasn't too happy about hurling rocks at it, just to please some long-dead author who was looking for an excuse to stay in bed all day. Still, given his vivid, weird dreams, the ideas put forward were otherwise attractive. By and large, he preferred the reality with television and fast food. Even if it did get a little boring, he didn't seem to die so often. It was just past lunchtime when a considerably happier Emily came up to him. "I hope you haven't forgotten the fun fair, Steve. I'm looking forward to going." He was surprised. "I'm really not feeling so good, and since you were looking much the same, I'd sort of assumed that you didn't want to go. But if you're still keen—" "Oh, yes, just the thing to sort me out. Helter-skelter, candy floss, dodgems, it all sounds like great fun. And so many chances for an accident. Dangerous places, fun fairs." "Fine. Do you want me to pick you up at 7:30? "7:30 it is. See you then." And she almost skipped away. Sue, who'd been watching this, said, "No wonder you two look so knackered this morning. What have you been getting up to after dark, eh?" Steve smiled. "I wouldn't dream of getting up to anything with Emily." A little later, the phone rang. "Steve, it's Mike, Dr. Jacobson. I got your pill bottle this morning and took it to a friend over at the police labs who shoved it through analysis. Have you any idea where it came from?" "No, like I said, Emily gave it to me. Why? What was in it?" "He doesn't know. Whatever it was, it seems to have broken down fairly recently, but the mix of chemicals in the powder that was left is astonishing, not to say lethal. That's just the 20% he can recognise." "You're saying it was poisonous?" "We can't tell what it was like when you took the tablets. Obviously it wasn't a simple toxin, but the number and potency of the compounds we found mean that it could have done almost anything. I think you ought to go for a full checkup as soon as possible, if not this afternoon, then tomorrow morning, and find out where that friend of yours got the tablets. They've got us very puzzled, and they shouldn't be riding around in someone's handbag." Well, I'll ask. Do you want to see me again soon?" "Depends what comes out of the checkup. Give Dr. Warmby at Freedom Fields a call on 342134 as soon as you can, and let me know afterwards. Did you get that number?" Steve grabbed a pencil and turned another stewpot memo over. He scribbled down the details. 342134. Got it, thanks. "Oh, by the way, those books were interesting, but I don't think I understood the half of it." "Good, that's something else to talk about when we meet next. Have you had any more dreams?" "Yes, another one last night. It was a bad one. I remember I died 3 times. If this was a video game, it'd be over by now." "Thanks, and try not to be so morbid," Dr. Jacobson chuckled. "See you soon, and please try to find out about those tablets." "I'll try. Bye." He rang up the hospital. Dr. Jacobson had been in touch and told Dr. Warmby about his case. Could he make it out this evening at 5? Well, that sorted out. He went in search of Emily. She was in the post room chatting to Sue. "Emily, I'm going to have to cancel tonight, I'm afraid." "Oh dear, why?" "I've just been on the phone to Dr. Jacobson. He'd like me to have a full checkup as soon as possible, and I'm in for 5 o'clock. It was those pills you gave me that are worrying them. Where on earth did you get them? It sounded like they gave the machines at the police forensic lab indigestion and the chemists there apoplexy." "What the devil did you send them to the police for? I thought you said you'd just taken them." Emily realised just a little too late that anger was not going to be helpful. Sue, sensing a row, slipped out of the room but stayed just the other side of the door. Well, I took the tablets, but I had the bottle left with some powder in the bottom. The doctor wanted to see it, so I couldn't see anything wrong with sending it to him. You do know what was in them, don't you? According to the doctor, there's all sorts of nasty things, and he's got no idea where you got them from." "I'm sorry, but I really can't remember. It might even have been abroad. I was in Madrid on holiday last year and got flu then. I suppose I bought them there. I must have just gone into a drugstore and asked for something. I'm not a walking laboratory, you know." "Sorry, but they sound quite worried. Can you remember the name of the place, the street, or anything?" "No, I can't. Look, It was last year, I had flu, I'm not even sure where I got them. Perhaps if you can get the bottle back, I'll be able to remember a bit more. When I see it, you understand?" "I'll ask, but I don't know where it is now." "Oh well, do the best you can. So, what do they think it's done to you?" Dr. Jacobson didn't say, but it didn't sound nice. "They've probably got their samples mixed up. I knew a chemist who worked for the police once. He was as likely to declare tap water as aluminium sulfate as get it right. And if the samples weren't mixed up, they soon would be," she decided. To hell with careful planning. Once the shockwave from last night's little tussle had reached the Guardians, they weren't going to be worried about a few traces of telekinesis. "That seems the sanest thing anyone's said all day," said Steve hopefully. "So are you going to leave the bothersome hospital appointments and come to the fair?" "No, I don't think I should. They've cancelled all sorts of things to fit me in, and if Dr. Jacobson thinks it's important, then I really should do it. It'll be really embarrassing when they find nothing wrong with you, you know. That'll be the doctor's fault anyway. If it means they'll stop these dreams, it has to be worth it." "Can't persuade you, can I?" "No, sorry. Tomorrow evening?" "Why not? I'm sure we'll get there in the end." She smiled again, which relieved Steve. He'd been worried about her earlier burst of anger, but everything seemed normal again.